take us higher. The night's young, and it's just begun. As she puts her hand in mine, we wanna chase the night. Running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. Oh, loud as it always has, we're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild.
You should have audio now, please, hopefully. You know, everything just usually works. And then just one day when I actually do have the time to check it all, I don't, because last time it worked. And today I didn't check. And then, well, guess what? No audio. Yep, that's me. That's lucky me. Anyhow, what I wanted to say, it's been a while since I have been live because I've been to Denmark to see my family and loved ones. And being in Denmark is quite tasking on me because I'm still busy with my new job when I'm there, and I'm helping my family the best way I'm able. And you know, it's just everything on top of one another that is kind of adding up. So while it's really nice to see the family and be with the family, it's also quite mentally rough on me. And then I got home from Denmark after my week to Denmark, and I was sick for a week. So that's why I've not been here for like 2.5 weeks ish. I'm live today. Awesome. I'm expecting here to be here for at least a couple of hours. Then I will be live, if everything goes well, on Monday afternoon. So that will be your Monday morning. And normally I would be live next week, Wednesday. But I'm traveling Wednesday to Wednesday this time around. So I'll leave Wednesday morning and I'll travel back Wednesday evening the following week. So that again will be a period where I will be less around the YouTube streets because, well, obviously, I think everybody agrees a family is more important than everything else in life. Especially, it's When I'm the lone child, my mom's only child, um, for me, it's a logic thing to travel home and do my best to help my family when able. Um, and my new job does allow me that, so that's a good thing. So yeah, what else happened? I finished some projects, so we do have new projects to work on. I also did a little bit of shopping actually, and I received it in the mail yesterday. That's some tools for another project of mine, which I'm not really sure which of the tools I'll need yet and how and so on. But I will get there because some of you know that I've started knitting. I got some knitting tools. Um, and generally, the idea here is that I am going to challenge myself and do more than just knit and purl. I am unsure of the pattern yet and what I will be knitting. Well, probably I'll still stick it to beanies here in the beginning. But eventually I'll challenge myself to a bit further things. So let me share all my new knitting tools with you guys because I don't see I'll need them for crochet. This is definitely for knitting. We have some holders here for stitches. So three different lengths. Basically just one big safety needle, I would say normally in Danish. Or stitch holder, three different sizes. So I can definitely hold some stitches for taking out, taking in, whatever crazy project that may be. As I said, it was like old batch. I think I paid like €4 for all of this in one go. So I was like, yeah, sure, give it to me. Right? Then I have a hook, I would almost say, like a fishing hook. We have a wee, it's a bit thinner. Then we have, these are for the cable holders, like if you knit cables, that I do know. And all of this is really new to me, all these tools, but I'm sure it will be fine. I also have one of these. Then I have two of these, which is, well, the difference is basically the thickness. So I guess which size stitches we're using. So that is my new fun tools. They look all fancy dandy. Not sure when I will get to use them and for what, but now I have them. So instead of just like jumping into the project and realizing when I get there I can't do it because I don't have the tools, I got the tools and now I just need to find the project. Feel free to come with suggestions for me, but regardless, it will most definitely challenge me. Hello, Susanne. Wonderful to see you this morning. Amanda, you're here too. Good morning. Good morning. And yes, Susan, this is a fun stuff. Another thing is that I do have tea. Today it's a Dutch blend. It's Pickwick's Dutch blend, plain. It's basically a black tea with some lemon peel, not lemon peel, orange peels, and that's it. So it's just plain black tea. It's a bit comfy tea. It's wonderful weather outside. I'm still a bit more careful about myself because I just had a cold last week, so I'm just making sure that I'm not gonna get a cold myself again, so to say. So I'm wearing an extra shirt. But the Pickwick teas have these labels on them. They come with questions usually. And this question is, it's in Dutch, but I'll translate to English, is when did you for the last time give advice? So I think that's a good question. When did you last time give any advice? And advice can be on anything, by the way. It does need to be crochet or knitting related. You can general advice. When did you last time give advice? I gave some probably yesterday. Um, I do feel I'm doing daily advices on my mom, being like, remember to do this, and it would be really good for you if you do this and stuff like that. Because, well, when you're ill, you're not always thinking on everything. Um, yeah, so I feel I'm giving almost on daily basis, I'm giving some kind of advice to some extent. Susan says practice cables on a single cable. Okay, that's good advice. So we already have an advice here today. Awesome. So I have two projects we can work on, which I have just over here. And then I had 2 yarns I wanted to hold together for my next hat. But I'm actually debating if I need to get a 3rd yarn just to get it a bit thicker. But I'm undecided on that. It's not finalized. But what I did get, and of course they're upstairs, I got some fox fur pom-poms to add to hats. And one of them are like a perfect match. I actually probably need to get some extra. So there's that. But yeah, as I said, I have two possible projects we could work on. And one of them is a bag that is the sunshine bag, which is like a beach bag kind of thing, or shopper bag. It's made in 100% recycled cotton in the recycled denim from Drops. And this is pretty much where we are at right now. You can see it has this nice bottom. Absolutely gorgeous. Height-wise here, I'm about halfway. I'll need to measure it, but I do have a few row rounds to go. This is quite boring simple. It's chain 5, single crochet in the next gap, chain 5, single crochet in the next gap, until we get there where we get to do straps. Yay. So that one still has a bit to go. That was option 1. And option 2 is the Pure Tea shawl by Red Teapot Atelier. I started on it the other day. This is a cake we're working with. See, it has sparkles, golden sparkles. And this is what we are at. I'm almost debating if I should have done, I hooked up size. Maybe I should do that, but I'm not in the mood to frog now, and I'm okay with it. I already hooked up size a bit. So the first 2 rows is made with a 3.5mm, and I could already feel that it would probably be nicer to hook size up. So now I'm on a 3.75mm. The label, it's a Muffin Mini Luxe from Stanley. The label does say, which I am not always sure if I agree with them though, it says 3 to 4.5mm crochet hook. And I'm debating if I should have used a 4 in hindsight, but it's not hard. It's okay. It's just not super flowy. But it's nice, I think. I think it works up nice. So we can work on this, or we can work on the bag. Do you have any preferences? And I know the plan was originally for us to choose the yarn together, but due to me being sick and wanted to get started on it, I was selfish and I picked the yarn. And it ended up becoming this one. It has a minimum, luckily, of puff stitches. Yeah, Amanda, that was what I thought too. After blocking, it will loosen up some, is what Amanda is saying. And yeah, that will definitely help as well. After this is being blocked, it will be a little bit more flowing, airy. Good morning, Mama Knows Best Ake Gwen. As I just said to the other ladies, what projects should we be working on today? We have this, which is the beginning of the Pure Tea shawl by Red Teapot Atelier. Or we have this sunshine bag, which is like a shopper bag or something like that, market bag kind of ish. This is the bottom, which is kind of nice. Actually, I really like the bottom on this one. If you have any preferences, please let me know. I have an idea actually on how to adapt some of this for a future project now. I get all inspired. But if you have any preferences, let me know. I'm happy to work on both. We can also work a bit on both if you want to. But yeah, that is the current projects I'm working on. And then, of course, we still have my fleur. But my fleur is slowly being so big that it's very not practical at all, basically, to work on it here in the live. I just don't have the table room to easily be with you guys, being attentive to you guys, at the same time concentrating on not making any mistakes, because making mistakes now is like a lot of frogging. And I'm for the life of me trying to prevent that. And that's basically the only projects I have going on right now, because the other projects I had, they have been parked as VIPs for whenever I feel like it. One of them obviously are the grinding squares that I didn't manage to unravel. The compliment to myself is the fact that I sew things so damn well together that it's barely unable to get undone. That's a good pact, I guess. And then I have a sweater which I want to make, but either I need to add some increases, or I need to drop some weight, or I could option on just making it and accepting that I won't be able to fit it, but somebody else can. That is a bit uncertain. So right now it's just laying there for whenever. So those I don't really work on. It's just VIPs, which are VIPs for being whips. So I don't know if you have any preferences, and if you don't, I'll just pick one. I'll just pick one if there is none. Well, Susa says here, the shawl or finish the market back. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if I'll finish the market back today, but we'll definitely get closer. The shawl will definitely not be finished today. I can tell you that for sure. I don't know if we'll make it to a color change. Maybe. Tough choice. Tough choice. I kind of like both, but I can't do both. It is a tough choice. But maybe I just feel a little bit like the shawl, don't I? And if I get tired of the shawl, we'll grab the bag. How does that sound? Because that's the thing, that the benefit is it's two different types, right? The bag is 100% cotton, recycled cotton, and the shawl is like 90% acrylic, 10% Lurex. So they are definitely different materials to work with, which is nice when your fingers get bored of one material. It's really nice to be able to just easily change over to another. So I'm just putting my market back up there and finding my hook. And then, yeah, this shouldn't roll, because I'm pulling the shawl from the center. It's center pulled, so I can't put it on my spindle. So right now it's just laying next to me, or it's been in my project crate laying, being pulled slowly. So we are going to change to our dual camera view like this. Now you have me double. Then we will see if we somehow can manage to see. That is where we are project wise. Now you can also see it's just laying here and I'm pulling from that. Now we need to see if the light is okay, because it's a little bit bright on my hand. Let's see if I can. Now it's going to be brighter first, and then we'll go darker like that. Then maybe a little bit like this. That should be okay. That should be okay, right? This is pretty visible. You can even see the glitters. Hey, awesome. As I said, the only dream situation for me is that you should be able to watch it like this, but I don't have a setup that will kind of allow for it. Good, I am at row 16. Row 16 we are about to start at here. I see. We have visitors. Hello, Stine from Tasmania in Australia. Hope you're well. Love, thank you very much. Rose a Garland Creations. Or Catherine. Hello, Catherine. Right now in Denmark, Tasmania is mainly known for being the native country of the Queen. So the Danish crown prince many years ago married a, a normal person that became the princess, and she is from Tasmania in Australia. Queen Mary now, because she she became queen as of last year January, when the other queen stepped back and sort of abdicated to make room for her son, and she wanted to retire. Row 16, we start by chaining 4. We already chained 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we turn around, and we need to make 1 double crochet into the first stitch. We can't do that. Then in the next stitch, I need to do 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet. Definitely long away from the down under, but yeah. And I personally, I never been to Australia. I only flown across Australia in the sense of above it, all the way when I went to New Zealand 2 years ago. I love to go to Australia one day. And I'd definitely also love to go back to New Zealand if possible. But yeah, the amount of money costs to go there is not in my budget currently. Then we chain 2, and then we skip 4 stitches, and then we'll do the double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in the next stitch, and we repeat until with the last stitch before the space. So basically we will skip 4, 2, 4. That means the 5th we'll need to do the double crochet, chain 2, and then a double crochet into that, and then chain 2 in between. We'll skip the 4. That is how this round will be going. That's actually easy enough. So far, this pattern definitely hasn't intimidated me, so that's a nice thing. She is a very beautiful woman, definitely, and she's very down to earth, but the same as the king, actually. I've had the pleasure of meeting the king back in 2012. He came to a training camp we had as a preparation for the Olympics, and I got to meet him back when he was just a crown prince. An absolutely quite down to earth, wonderful person. I have to say that definitely not up high just because he's famous. Sounds like I'm advised to look me up and come and stay. Thank you. I'll love to. Might need to convince my husband or partner that it's a good idea, but that's a tiny in between. Have quite a few other obligations in life, and well, a house that definitely could desire some renovation. We do need a lot of things done, and the thing is, if I really start on that renovation part, goodness, I'll be broke. It would almost be cheaper to buy a new house. So we have in the downstairs we have a hallway, and in the hallway we have a guest toilet. Then we have you can enter our kitchen, living, all in one room space. So basically we have a kitchen and living room in one space here. And it's important to understand houses aren't super big in the Netherlands because there is a limited space to build on because we are the most dense populated country in Europe. Um, so, my neighbor is just behind me at the wall, basically. Um, and I'm not in an apartment, I'm in a house. But they basically build houses so they break one another. They bring. Or if you have a house that's not like this, which is this is a house that is 4 houses under one roof, is what the technically term is in Dutch. But if you have a house that's standing free, um, you will need to expect to pay hundreds, maybe 200,000 euros more just for the same house, just because you don't have a neighbor behind the wall. And the prices really have rocketed here in this area recently. There is this small house that's just been put for sale further up the street. They are like patios, and it's like 600,000 euros. And I'm like, I wouldn't even want to pay that to live there. It's crazy. Um, but yeah, that is a side note. We kind of need to get the toilet renovated because the wall flush doesn't work, but it's a built-in toilet, so we will have to renovate the whole toilet to actually get that fixed. We have a look at already. And since the floor tiling is the same throughout the whole bottom floor here, um, then it would make sense to do that renovation. And when we get on that renovation, I would say that I also wanted floor heating in the living room, all room space, because it's much more environment friendly, and you need less heat to feel the heat, so to say. So it's just a much nicer way for heating in so many aspects. And my body would love it. So floor heating is really good if you have arthritis or some sort of rheumatoid disease, etc. Trust me, you would love floor heating. So that is what I want. But problem is when we get there, we also have like a gas, like we have a fireplace, but it runs on gas only. So it has like these fake blocks of wood, but it's not wood that's in it. It's just like fake, because it's all run on gas. We never use it because a gas fireplace is extremely expensive because it costs gas and it goes like straight in and doesn't heat much compared to what it is. So it's more like for looking nice. We never use it. It takes up um, like half a meter by half a meter space. Um, we'll like to get that torn out and removed. And then we, I have a kitchen that's 30 years old, so almost 25 years old it is. Um, and that kitchen is slowly getting closer to a replacement as well. So you can hear the fact that we have to renovate the whole bottom part of the house. Um, and that's going to be costly. Like I'm seeing that's going to be like 50, 70,000 euros along those lines, if not more. I don't even want to think about it. Okay, we are at the end here. Then I need to, in the chain space, we'll do 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet, and then we'll do the same on the other side. Okay, can do that. So there's just many things in the sense of what we would love to do here in this house. And it costs a lot of money. And given the fact that our travel to New Zealand 2 years ago cost around 8 to 9,000 per person, it is probably money that we now should first focus on getting the house renovated before going on a wonderful travel like that. Unless, of course, I win the lottery, which I'm probably not because I usually don't have luck in such things. But that is kind of how it's looking. And eventually, upstairs also need a renovation, especially the toilet could use one. But doing all that on top is, like that's not the most important. The most important, I think, right now is basically the the whole downstairs area. And you know, when you do one thing, it makes logic sense to kind of do it all if possible, because many of the things really have an effect on the others. Um, so it's gonna be a lot and a mess. 2, 4, and it's gonna be expensive. But if you have any wonderful patterns for hats, for knitted hats, feel free to share. I have like a 4-weight yarn. Oh, that was way too many chains. I have a 4-weight yarn that I want to use for it. If it's more than just like, if you want to challenge me a bit, but not too much, then I am open ears. You have the opportunity to suggest me a pattern. Or where to find one. I'll be happy to hear. I need to pull some yarn again. So the real question here today will be if we reach to go into this more. As you can see, the yarn is up. Right now we are in this sage green with a golden thread, and there's more like a curry yellow here. So will we get to the curry yellow today? Maybe we will. We will have to see. But yeah, so I'm looking for a knit pattern maybe to jump into for a hat with like not too complicated, but more than just knit and purl. Or it's okay if it's just knit and purl, but then it needs to look a bit more than just a ripped beanie, if that makes sense. Shoot me your suggestions if you have any. I also looked at my stash and I found that I still have a fair amount of just white acrylic. I've been debating if I should also just make some white hats, boring as it sounds, but or I could combine it with something, but yeah. What would be the big question? I do like this is not moving much. It's just nicely allowing me to pull the thread. Let's see. I am being suggested. Have you done a cardigan with a hood? Looking for a pattern for a winter coming up very soon. No, I haven't. I haven't. Would be kind of cool though. I could use one. Because I am definitely the concept of not wanting to be cold, and I always freeze even though it's not that cold. But I haven't. But I know that Passionate Kelsey is currently working on a hexagon cardigan pattern, so that could be an idea. I will look that up in a minute, Susan. I'm just at the very last stitch here. I just need to, or 2 stitches, I just need to check quickly. I need to do double crochet and treble at the very end. So when I've done that, we will go to Ravelry and see what that could be. Give me just a minute to finish up this. So that was row 16. We'll head on to row 17 in a minute. But before doing that, we will head to Ravelry, won't we? So let's see. Pop over there and you say Bankheads. Patterns. Bankhead. Let's see if it comes up. It does. Susie Goulet. Knit Natural. Bankhead. Piece fleece worsted weight. That seems nice enough. US 7, 4.5 millimeters. So I need to find yarns requiring 4.5 millimeters. Well, they have some nice options here. I like it. It's not bad. And then this had one of my favorite Ghost Town Bankhead. Aha. That's nice. I will definitely save this in my favorites. Yeah. Oh, that's fine. Now that one is in my favorites. Sweet. I like it. Done. Saved. I like the difference of things. And I definitely could use a few different knit pattern that's not all gonna be the same, right? So we got to row 17. Meanwhile, and row 17 says chain 4, 2 double crochets into the first stitch, chain 1, and then we will proceed. Susan says she made a few of those bankhead hats. They work up nicely. That is good to know. What yarn have you used for them? Like, the yarn she mentioned she used is not a yarn I'm familiar with at all. So I wonder what yarn you used, just of curiosity. What brand? I need something to come with. Piece fleece, worsted weight, yardage 200 yards, so 180 meters per about 100 grams. Okay. I could probably find quite some similar though. I think. Used acrylic full weight, so like current Simply Soft would be considered acrylic full weight, right? Cardigan with hooded hat. Yeah, I'm wondering if there could be one on Ravelry too. Fair enough. Fair enough. That is also quite a lot of hats. 50 plus hats for the nation. Susan, that is impressive. Regardless of what time period you've made it over, that is impressive. Scrap long cardigan. That does have a hood. I wonder if it's free. Could be. No. That's the next challenge. This one looks nice though. There are definitely options on Ravelry. I do like the look of this one. Let me jump back. This one looks nice. It's on Ravelry. Hooded color block cardigan of MJ's Off the Hook Designs. It's made in an Aran weight or 8 weight, 5mm hook or 5.5. Merrimax and Woodlands has been used for it, but I think it looks extremely nice, and you can even option to like belt it if you want to. But it's 12.5 US for the pattern. But it's nice. It looks really nice though. It's just a bunch of work with these big pieces. But that could be an option maybe. I don't know if there's a budget for it. But I just basically did the advanced search, and then I did cardigan hood, and then I have a few options here. This one is the scrap long cardigan. That's also paid pattern. And then I think the hooded color block looks nicer of the two. Here's the hooded granny inspired one. Definitely some options here for sure. Though most seem to be related towards children. So this is like a granny square one. It's only £4.80. So that's nice. I like this one also. That could be an option. That is made in the CPB Sweet Colors DK, so it's a DK weight yarn. So there's some options there to look at. This one looks nice too, I'll have to say. Definitely looks nice too. Good morning, oddballs. Welcome to the live. Susan said it's a good pattern for any worsted yarn, not thin worsted though. Good to know, good to know. I was thinking on maybe using it with my, I have some unicorn from Gazelle, which is like 100% superwash merino wool. But it could also be that I try with another worsted weight yarn first, just to test it out. I wish you all the best for your recovery. Medical issues are never fun. That would be really nice to have you back, definitely. Susan says another favorite is the simple yet effective cowl free in Ravelry. Is that the name literally? Like simple yet effective? It is. Wow. And yeah, MJ really does some beautiful designs. They do. So there's a few of these simple yet effective. There's a cowl and a shawl. I'm actually also wanting to. I have some yarn, which I need to find a purpose for, which is also actually also merino, but that's like a lace, not lace weight, sport weight, it's like 2 weight, 100% merino as well. That I need to find a purpose for. I have about 400 to 500 meters of it, which is like 500-ish, 550-ish yards. Hello, Sarah. Good morning to you. Tin can knits. I found them. I just marked one. That is an awesome one scene. Haven't seen those ones. Sharon's looks like the one I need here in the cold Tasmania. Thank you. You're very welcome. Definitely very welcome. Only knits and pearls. Cal only needs 100-gram worsted. That's also a good suggestion. So there are definitely options for me. Definitely options. I have too much on. And I used to have a lot of ideas. I still have a lot of ideas. But the reality is also a little bit that some of the ideas I've forgotten. I've gotten new in place, but then I still have a bunch of things that I also need to get done. Okay, so we'll do this one, and then we will into the first stitch, chain 1, which I did. Double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in the same space, which I did. And then it's skip 4 stitches. So that's to the next chain space. And in that, I need to do 9 treble crochets. Okay, that's a bit. We'll get to do a bit of counting, and then we'll like jump to the next. And I think what you do is like every second you do this 9 treble crochets. That's a lot of treble crochets, ladies. I said last summer when I made the Thoughts of Ireland shawl that if I didn't know how to treble crochet, I definitely did after that one. I do know how to treble crochet, but that one really had like lots of treble crochets. This one has 9, and then the every second chain space here will have another 9. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5, and then we need to pull some yarn. Aber says Stina, got a recliner chair for my yarn room. Oh my goodness, awesome! I want a recliner chair and a yarn room, but I don't have it. I could consider. I've really been debating if I should sacrifice my. I do have a sort of a fitness bike, which if I sold it, I would have an easier time turning my guest room into a yarn room. But at the same time, for my health purposes, I probably shouldn't sell it because I should actually probably use it. But then what I could do optionally is maybe to replace that with like a walking band or something like that, because I'll much quicker do that than getting on the bike. Rose Garland says, lovely to meet you all, and I hope you become friends across the world. It's 10:42 p.m. and I'm tired after a hard day. Stina, watch the end of the live and make a comment, dear friend. Thank you for the friendship. Well, Catherine, it was absolutely wonderful to meet you. And I am loving having friends from all across the world. So don't worry one bit. It was a pleasure, woohoo, to say hello to you. And I hope that we will meet again sometime out in the future. Take care and good recovery wished. Yeah. So what should I do? Should I... Yeah, I could consider cleaning it up and just seeing if it would sell. 4, 6, 8, 9. And if it sells, that would be nice. And if it doesn't sell, well, life could be worse. But I'm not going to throw it out because it's way too valuable to just be thrown out. And then in the next year, we'll do the double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet. And then I think I need to repeat. Let's just see. Repeat from, yep, I do need to repeat. Easy. I got the recliner at Scratch and Dent store, but we couldn't find any damage to it. Still got really good deal on it. You know, it doesn't matter where we get our furniture or anything. You know, the most important is that we are happy with what we have. And then it doesn't matter where it came from. That's my opinion. For my sake, you could have gotten at a secondhand store or whatever, you know, as long as it's exactly what you want and it's a good deal and you feel it's a good deal. Hello, Maritza, Yarn and Crafts. Good to see you. Good morning. Hope you're well. Mm-hmm. 2, 4, 6. I need 3 more. I am doing a lot better, thank you. Last week I wasn't doing too best. I was really not well last week. And I was just working. So the benefit of my new job is I don't need to call in sick when I am sick. Because I can just work when I have the energy to do so, as long as I get my things done. And last week I literally optioned just to, yeah. I worked and took care of myself, and that was pretty much what I did last week. Good afternoon, Hille. Good afternoon. And yeah, it's okay if you fall away. I know, I understand. I'm just happy to see you here. Apple says, I'll email you a new video. I hung up a few decorations as well. I'm looking forward to see it. I definitely do. I'm unsure if Hele's feeling well today. She is definitely still extremely tired. What we currently are expecting or experiencing is what I've been told, at least, is that every time she's had a chemotherapy treatment, her body basically breaks down for about a week, close to a week, where she's like, feeling really bad, not having much of appetite, everything, which is kind of all the normal things. And then towards the end of that week, her appetite slowly recovers and it's improving, but she's still extremely tired from it all, which is totally logic with everything she's going through. I genuinely hope that the week in between, so to say, so the week prior the next treatment, so that would be basically this week we're in now, that she can recover lots of strength so she easily can handle the treatment weeks, because the treatment weeks are really rough on her. 4, 6, 8. That is currently what I'll see. We had planned for my travels to be so I could be home during the treatment, but due to the admission she had to the hospital just before Easter. The treatment has all been postponed for a week forward. So the next time I'm home, I will not be there during the treatment, and I should be there in June to help with the treatment if everything goes well. It better go well. We don't want any more detours. I'm just checking my agenda to see if I'm actually remembering right, but I think I do. Yeah, the June should be right. The June one should be all right. Then, yeah, that's all right. And then I will be home again in July, but that will be the kind of the following week. So she'll be really tired then. But I wasn't sure it was really clever to get during, and we had to pick a week when going home in July. I am going home where we're actually driving instead of flying, and I'll bring my partner with me as well. And I also didn't want him to spend/wait too much time at the hospital. Um, and it had to fit with his every second week because then he would need 1 day less of vacation from his boss. Because every second week, Monday, he's also off work. Or he's working for his own business and not for his normal day-to-day paying job, so to say. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we need 9. And also I already planned my trip for August. And then I need to still plan the one for September. But if everything goes well, then that should be around my mom's last treatment. And in September, if I also calculated correct, by then I should have my frequent flyer status back, which means that I can finally check in luggage without paying for it. 2, 4, 6, 8. I need one more. Yeah, exactly. Ton of travel points. You got that one right, girl. Um, I am. I will have my frequent flyer status back in September. And 2, 4, 6, 8. I probably have enough points to like get one free ticket to the US and back. But I won't travel alone if I'm doing travel like that. I need 2 tickets because I want to bring my partner with me. And we do want to go to the States, by the way. We do have some, like, we would both want to do, we really genuinely want to do, like, I would like to see and the Niagara Falls. But I'd also like to do, like, Yellowstone. That sounds like really gorgeous. Montana. There's so many things I'd like to see. You know, I've been to the US twice. And it's not really been at touristic places. It's just been an airport and a hotel and a shooting range, which was at an army base in Fort Benning, which is now called, I believe, Fort Moore. And I'd just generally like to go there. And if I do go there, better make sure that I do have room in my suitcase so I can buy some yarn to bring back with me home. Just for the funsies of it, I guess. Oh, that's awesome. Adbo says my hubby surprised me with a trip to the coast this weekend for my birthday by using his travel points for the flight and hotel. That's a sweet present. And congratulations on your birthday soon. If it's not, has been, or it soon will be, then congratulations. Definitely, that is a wonderful gift. I'd love to give mine one stuff too. I do rack up a few extra miles via my credit card, which I actually did for extra travel insurance. So when I purchase the tickets, I pay for it with a card, and it's automatically extra insured. Um, and I did that back when we did the New Zealand travel, and I've kept it because it also like keeps my miles longevity and stuff like that. So it's just a nice to have. And I still do that. And my feeling is, sorry about that. Um, my feeling is that I will definitely still keep on traveling, even should hopefully even when my mom recovers, I will still probably be traveling more back and forth because I'm able to with the job I have, and the last many years I've not seen my family as much as I really. Oh my goodness, I'm doing this all wrong. I'm doing double crochets here. I need to do trebles. Just a moment, ladies. I need to. So we'll try again. Trebles, not doubles. um, because I've not seen my family as much as I probably should have. So I will see if I can spend more time traveling a bit also. And now when I have unlocked the free luggage for my travel points, or frequent miles, so to say, it's cheaper also to do it because um they charge you like 70 euros just to bring your fucking suitcase. Um, and I can't go for a week without having the suitcase with me. So soon I'll just basically only have to pay half ticket price almost, or a lot less for traveling back and forth. And then why not maintain it when you have it? 2, 4, 6, 7, 2 more. Is my thought of it. And as long as I have the job I currently have, I am able to travel extra without it costing me necessarily vacation days. So I am probably gonna do that to maintain my frequent flyer status. I will need to have 14 flights, not necessarily 14 travels in the same as back and forth, but 14 times up and down in the air. And crazy as it sounds, one of the travels I've ordered, that's for the August one, I'm actually flying Düsseldorf, Amsterdam, Copenhagen rather than direct Amsterdam, Copenhagen, which I could have done, but it only cost me like €5 more, but I'll get all those extra miles, which means that in the long run, I'll save more, even though I'll spend a little bit more time on the traveling. So obviously I've done that too, just to do it for the status of things. And now we are almost at the end where I need to double crochet, chain 1, chain 2, double crochet, then chain 1, 2 double crochets, etc. in the center. Okay, I can do that too. So I am definitely, when I'm looking at my traveling plans, calculating and doing things so that it long term, and it's important that I say long term because short term it sounds crazy, but long term gives me most possible advantage. But also it means that when I do travels where I bring my partner with me, we'll still have that extra free suitcase as long as we travel with the Sky team. Sky team would be in the US people's terms Delta. Not that I'm a big fan of Delta because I had some less pleasant experiences traveling home from Atlanta a couple of years ago, but that is just how it's gonna be. That is the company that KLM, which is the Royal Dutch Airlines, is working with, and KLM is 20% majority owner of Scandinavian Airlines SAS. And therefore, when they helped SAS out of a possible bankruptcy, what were if that were to happen, they had to agree to change from Euro bonus system, bonus reward system, to SkyTeam, and that's what they did. The benefit for me is now that I can choose. It doesn't matter if I choose KLM or if I choose SAS. It goes to the same frequent flyer system, and that is the two most frequent options that I'll travel with when I'm going to Denmark by air. So it has benefits and disadvantages, because the disadvantage is then that they have gotten a little bit more monopolistic hold on the travel section there. So I feel it's gotten more expensive to fly. But overall, looking from a frequent flyer perspective, it's a lot better for me, if that makes sense. My birthday is on Sunday. He's also taking me yarn shopping. I would like to get yarn for the Ripple Shawl make along that some YouTubers are starting tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Riptide Shawl, sorry. I let's Ripple. Riptide Shawl. It's like that. Is that a crochet along, or is it just... Yeah, make along. I can't read today. I would like to get yarn for the Riptide Shawl make along. Yes. Good plan. You have a good husband. He's taking you yarn shopping. He's taking you on vacation. I'm inclined to think my partner has a good girlfriend. I bought him shoes the other day, this weekend. I gave him shoes. Well, actually, it was his birthday present. But his birthday is in June. I just said, well, it's an advanced birthday present. And he's like, okay, cool. Because he fit them. And he kind of needs a new pair for the summer. What I do need still, I need to find something small. But we aren't home on his birthday. We're actually in Belgium. And due to that, I'm not gonna bring like a brick present or something like that, right? So we'll be there, and he's not a big fan of everybody knowing his birthdays. Is that he's having his birthday 2, 4, 6, 9. So he just prefers like him knowing, even though he knows more people will know, but he'd like that there isn't a big thing made out of it. So I kind of hope I'll be able to find some. In Dutch, they are named kaneelstokjes. It's actually a candy made of cinnamon. So it's like a cinnamon candy that he really loves. And I think that is a nice small thing to add. So that is what I am intending on doing, if I can find it. And he doesn't watch this, so I can say that I do that here. So my intention is to find some small thing that, is just for him, because, it's his birthday. 5. So, yeah. I am not a big on make-alongs. I did the Jasmine Tea shawl back then was actually sort of a make-along, but more because it was a good opportunity with what I did. 2, 6, 8. One more. But I'm generally not big on joining them. I guess I don't know why. Some of them look really nice. I guess it's just because I don't plan for them, and then they happen, and I have so many other things going on, and I'm not always willing to pause those things. I have been busy as well. I've really been looking at shipping costs amongst things, for um, for the web shop that I'm working on getting all set up. And then what will take a lot of time is adding the products to the stores and taking product categories and everything and set it up for the store and stuff like that. That will take quite some time. Um, it will be much better once it's all up and running. And then we will see. I've promised myself I would give it a year to see if it could be profitable. And profitable in the sense that it has to pay for itself as a bare minimum. And if it's making a profit, that's nice. So that is, and maybe I'll be open to invest a bit longer than that. But first of all, I'll see that. So there's a lot of technical things. I have to say, it's not just a walk in the park to get that done. It's not just you spend a day and it's all fixed, a few buttons pressed. There's so many things you need to read and understand, and oh my goodness. Abba says we normally don't do anything except for dinner on our birthday, but he's nervous about my upcoming eye surgery, so he's doing something super special for you. That's nice still. We don't do like a lot for our birthdays. Um, in that sense. I got a present which is like a day out that I can choose. And I already said what I wanted to do, which is not going to be like a big day. There is, I don't know if people here know what a Rodelbahn is. A Rodelbahn is, it's basically like a roller coaster, but a manual one on rails, but not run by machine. And it's usually not a fun park, but it's usually like from mountainside or something like that. And they have one here in the more northern part of Germany, which is like an hour and a half or so drive from our place. And it's having high recommendations, actually. So I told my partner that I'd like to go to Germany to try it out, and that would be my day out that he gave me for a present. But the real question is also we need to find time for it. And then we'll do some things together also, obviously. When we go to Denmark, we will have a little bit of vacation, even though that we will be with the family. That is also important to say. 2, 4, 6, 7, 2 more. Two, 4, 6, 8, 9. So I don't think we do an awful lot either for our birthdays. It's just small things. There was a plan for my parents to have visited me for my birthday this year, but it got cancelled because my mom wasn't feeling well. That was before we knew what was wrong with her. My dad feels really bad that they didn't come, and I've tried to explain him that, the health of my mom is so much more important than them coming and visiting me, because I'm really not sure that travel would have been any good for my mom at all. Because that is quite a long travel when you're not feeling well. It's a 950 kilometers drive from my parents' place through Germany to get to me here in the Netherlands. And I'd much rather have my family being healthy than having them on visit. And these days, I'm definitely traveling a lot more there than I have been doing, and I don't mind actually. I've kind of been missing it. The many travels. I used to do lots of travels back with the national team, but when I quit the Danish national team, I started traveling a lot less back and forth. And now I'm kind of happy doing it again. I just wish it was for a different reason, if that makes sense. But I am still rather happy for traveling. Exactly, health is so much more important. It definitely is. For 6, 7, 8, and then the last one is 9. 6, 8, 9. So yeah, normally next week Wednesday I would be here for live, but I'm not here next week Wednesday because I'll be traveling next week Wednesday. um, what did I do in the beginning? I had this one. Yep. Did I do a chain or was it straight over? I did a chain 1. And then in that very last stitch we have 2 double crochets and a treble. And the treble, that was row 17. It's starting to turn out really nice, this one, isn't it? So let's just have a little look. There you go. Yeah, I think it's nice. Ta-ta! It really does look nice. We are getting closer to color change, I think, as well. Artball says, by the way, I've now participated in a make along. This will be my first, and the shawl has been on my to make list for a while, anyways. Just happens to work out. That makes good sense, definitely. So that was kind of the same. You know, like when I did the Disney Sisters make along a year and a half ago. No, I finished it last year around this time, a bit earlier in April. 13 months ago. That worked out because their make along was just generally a shawl. You could participate to enter to win like a project bag, which looks really awesome. And I wanted to make this jasmine tea shawl, and I had everything laying for doing it, so I didn't need to spend anything extra. And I could do something that I had wanted to do. They were just more generally could be a shawl, and I chose to do the shawl. And yeah, I didn't win though, but I participated and I made it on time with everything else going on. So I was pretty happy about that. Thank you, Art Boss, who says a gorgeous work, and I thank you. And it's also a gorgeous design. That does help it. That does help on it. And so far, it's the first time I'm working with the Muffin Mini Lux, and I think it works up nicely. I'm pretty okay with it. Not the last time. Not sure if that's going to be this color another time, but you know, it's not the last time working with the Mini Lux. Let's see, row 18. It's a little bit similar to the row prior, actually. because that is a lot of V stitches as well. So chain 4, we start by that. So row 18 is very similar to row 17, actually. I would say it's the same, except instead of placing them on the double crochets, we will place every second on the center the treble, but it's gonna be fine. Row 18 should be simple to do. Why can't I get the yarn like that? So we start by chaining 4, 2, 3, 4. Then we chain 2 extra for the chain space. We turn the work around and we work in the double crochet in the very first stitch. Then we chain 2. Then we do, in the next sort of V-stitch, we do double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, which is a new V-stitch. Then we chain 2 again. And then in the center, so in the, like, you first have 4 double crochets, and the 5th double crochet we do the V-stitch, which is the double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in the same stitch. Then we'll chain 2 again to proceed to the next V-stitch base, and that is basically how it's gonna be all the way around this row. Easy peasy. Susan says, students, do you find you miss threads with the non-plied threads? Actually, it's not bad with this yarn, though I do admit when I just like pick up the yarn, like if I've had it like laid away and I start the project again, I need to be a bit focused entering the needle or the crochet hook into the project. But here it's not often that we miss. So sometimes, but it's not often, and it's usually very quickly fixed. It's not like I'm seeing a couple of rows later that, oh my goodness, I missed one. If anything, then maybe the lyrics thread, the golden thread, can sometimes be a little bit sensitive. But generally, it's not as bad as I thought. It's not as intimidating as it looks. Let's put it like that. That said, if you do use a crochet hook that is on the thinner end for what's recommended, you will more often experience missing one of the strands compared to if you have a crochet hook that's matching the sizing of the recommended, assuming yarn recommends correct threads. So in this case, I'm on an F hook, so 3.75. If I did a 3mm, which I probably could with this yarn, but it would be quite denser, I'm more likely to miss a thread. I tend to miss threads, and so I'm always inspecting my work. I'm using the Linda Hobby soft cake right now. Yeah, on those, but the threads there is also thinner than the threads here on the Pletas. The Linda Hobby soft cakes are quite thin, so on that one, I also needed to pay attention, definitely. Not that I missed it a lot, but I had a few where I had to frog a few stitches back sometimes. But I feel this Stanley Muffin Mini Logs that I have it less. What hook are you using with the soft cake? Like what hook size? I used 3.25, so that's like what, E hook? Maybe? E is a 3.5. I think I probably used an E-hook. D or E? Yeah, so they do recommend the 3mm. I use personally a 3.25, so a D-hook. And if you wanted really lacy, you could probably work a 3.5, depending on if your tension is loose or tight. I have a bit tighter tension, so that's why I'm optioning for this when I like the 3.25mm working with a soft cake. I think if I worked a 3mm on that one, I would miss more threads, personally. Yeah, indeed, that's also my experience. So Apple says the standing muffin threads kind of stick together, and it's because when I feel on this acrylic thread in the muffins, it's a bit more like it's kind of a brushed acrylic feeling compared to the acrylic threads in the soft cake. It's quite different yarn. One of my whips is unplied Pima cotton. Those threads are finer and easier to miss. Yeah, I can imagine that. I definitely can imagine that. So last week I was so tempted to get a hobby order, and I was like, oh no 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 no. You have a few things you need to sort on first, girl, before you do that. And then I managed not to. So I'm kind of proud of myself for not buying yarn. But I was so tempted. And just to make on it, I had another visit at a store the other day where I was like, don't buy yarn, don't buy yarn. And I didn't buy anything. In hindsight, I feel I should have bought the single skein that would have matched with layering up one of the yarns to do the hat that I want to do. Mm. So I'll be thinking if I should do that still or not. It wasn't a big investment. It would be a skein costing euro 10 or something like that. It's like a value yarn. But those plans could also change because that depends. But I am definitely going to have a look at some of those patterns suggested. Sounds good. Yeah. I need to find projects as well to bring with me to Denmark. I am considering just bringing some cotton yarn and crocheting some bucket hats or something like that. I just need something simple. Okay, so how did they do that? Okay, they chain two and then they skip to the center space where they make them. Okay, fair enough. 1, 2. And then we'll do another chain two and another V-stitch in the center space. 2. That said, the Linda Hobby soft cakes are soft and so enjoyable. Like, next to the fact that you need to be focused for not missing any threads, it makes such a nice project. They also have some merino wool that has my name on it. I just haven't bought it yet because right now I'm not buying because, well, I have a specific project, right? You know, I'm trying to decrease my stash and it's not like looking for the whole year. It's still not going too good. Like it's improving, but it's it's not decreasing enough yet. Susan asked, have you made this pattern before, this shawl? No, I haven't made this pattern before. It is the Per at Tea shawl from Red Teapot Atelier. If I've done it good, then in the description box of this video, there should be a link to the pattern on the hobby site. She also have the patterns on Ravelry, so you can also buy this pattern on Ravelry if you'd rather do that. But if you do have Hobby and happen to have Hobby Plus subscription, then it is amongst the free downloads for your Hobby Plus. So I got mine from the Hobby Plus subscription. Hobby Plus gives you 3 free downloads a month on paid patterns. So if you want multiple of her designs, then it could be an option just to do 1 month subscription Hobby Plus and then get those 3 because you get 3 for, is it what, $9.99? And the patterns cost alone is like what, $6.50, so you'll save some money. Yeah, they're also on Etsy. They're by Red Teapot Atelier. She makes really nice written patterns. This pattern has a few puff stitches, but generally not a lot. And she used Hobby's 4/8 cotton, where I'm just using a cake, but you can basically do both to her patterns. I did the Ceylon tea shawl from her. That was in a Linda Hobby soft cake, and I've done the dye healing tea shawl in a Linda Hobby soft cake, and they work up nicely. How many pages this pattern is? If you give me a moment, it's 15. This one, and it has it both has a written description. It's like in case row 18 is like chain 4 counts as 1 treble crochet. Then it's 2 chains, 1 double crochet into the first stitch, chain 2, 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next chain 2 space, etc. Like that's written part. You have below that you have the stitch count. So once I'm done with this row, I will have per side 1 treble crochet, 29 double crochets, and 58 chains plus the 2 chains in the middle. And then it has patterns below, the infographs, diagrams below. And there are photos also for every row showing how it would look visually. So she makes really like detailed patterns. I think they're really nice. So compared to some other patterns of the same price range, I think these are really nice. I wouldn't say they're flawless because I had once in this pattern where I felt that it was written wrong, but generally it was easy to understand. They're really beautiful designs. Exactly what Oppo says is they're some of the most well-written patterns I've seen. Hey ladies, look! Look! My goodness! We have a color change coming up. Sorry, I just got whole hyper from seeing that. Because we all love color change. I've done, this is probably like the 4th of her pattern I'm doing, I think. Because I've done the jasmine, the Dayeling, the Ceylon, and now this is the Purty. Yeah. So she's doing really nice patterns. All. Definitely. I've been making easy 2 to 4 row repeats from free tutorials from various designers. Yeah, the one thing you need to know about her designs, they're definitely not 2 or 4 row repeats. Um, the initial shawl pattern is, oh my goodness, we're not even close. 28, 30, 31, 2, 3. Yeah, they are 33 rows, the initial design. And then row 54 to 34 to 52 is repeating from row 4 to 22nd, basically. So this is like, basically it's a lot of repetition, but every row are different. So what you need to do when you do these, especially if you're not used to it, keep a little notebook where you keep track of what row you're on. You don't want to lose track of your rows if you can't easily like see it from just reading it, knowing where you are. Just like make sure you know what row you're on, because then it's easy. Like when you know what row you're on, it's easy, if that makes sense. But you do need, I do advise you to keep track of the rows if you're not used to working them. Oh, I feel I'm a little bit lucky. Is this YouTube or is it me? Should have okay connection, so Susan says I donate 98% of the shawls I make, so I don't like to spend a lot of time and effort on them. That's fair enough. I do it because I like to challenge myself. But this particular shawl, if you would make me a tutorial for it, which obviously I'm not allowed to do because it's not my design, that would be a very long video tutorial because of the amount of different rows. We have the color changed right here. Oh my goodness, we are heading into the curry. Well, it's now sage and curry, let's be fair. But for the matter of speaking, and then a part of me kind of feels like I could color control fully and then only do it for those, but that's not something, that's too much work and hassle to do that much of color control. So I'm just like letting it run its own pace. No, they're not beginner patterns, but I'm a believer that if you have enough determination, you can do basic stitches, you can do it. I agree. I definitely agree. There are, like if you do have some general understanding, they're not that difficult. And she's really good at describing how to do things. And there is like a description as well of how the stitches are made in the beginning of the pattern. That's why it's 15 pages long. It's not only the pattern itself, it's also definitions and so on for you to be able to understand the pattern. I love the feeling of finishing a make, so I don't do many long complicated projects. My center is the best for using up yarn. I can relate to that as well, but at the same time, when you finish up a project like this, it gives a special feeling. Like I have different feeling when I finish up a hat or when I finish up a shawl. It's they're both are nice feelings, but it is definitely feeling different. There is difference to it. At least I think there's a difference. Mm. And I enjoy both. And most importantly is we should all enjoy what we are doing. We are almost done with this. Bro, let's see, 2, 4, 5 would be this one. So yeah, the most important is that we enjoy what we're doing, obviously. On that note, I would like to urge you ladies to be a little bit careful around the internet, because yesterday I had a person contacting me on Facebook regarding my makes, and that person said that they would like to buy one. So they wanted to know the costs, including shipping, and if I would ship to the States. I think it was Oregon. And I said, yeah, I can do that for 50 euros, something like that. And for those 50 euros, I was going to send the make, wrap it, and pay for the shipping. And they wanted to know how they could pay me, and they had these different sort of payment apps they suggested. And I said, well, in a couple of weeks, you can, if everything goes well, hopefully just order it via my web shop, or right now, optionally, bank transfer or maybe PayPal, because I do have a PayPal, but I'm not really intending on using it for it. But yeah, like, if she's happy, I'm happy. And well, she couldn't do the PayPal me because apparently she had quote unquote a business account. And then she wanted my email address connected to the PayPal. So she got that one. And then she kept saying, oh, now the payment has been put on hold. Didn't you get an email for it being put on hold? Like, nope, I didn't get any money and I didn't see anything being put on hold on my PayPal account. I said, no, you should have gotten an email with this. And I'm like, And then they were like getting persistent. Didn't you get an email? Like, please check your spam. And I was like, this is suspicious. This is fishy. So I did have an email indeed in my spam saying, you received the payment that's on hold. And then a link here to click to get it released, blah, blah, blah. Which I'm like, nah, probably not. Then I checked further into her Facebook profile because she reached out to me on Facebook. And guess what? No friends, no nothing, just a photo and a background photo, and that's it. Like, but she was a member of a shit ton of crochet groups. Um, and when I looked at the email, it looked like if the sender was from PayPal, but if you look deeper into the email, it was from a Gmail account. And then I'm like, I'm definitely not touching anything in that email because you're trying to scam me out of stuff. Not happening. Thus, henceforth, I set that bunch of spams and I wished the lady a nice day because I'm quite sure it wasn't the lady at all. So I'm urging you all to be quite careful, even if people say they want to make your makes and they have no issues with paying whatever you ask for it and whatnot. If you have an Etsy store, please send them to your Etsy store for the purchase. If you have a website, forward them to your website. Please just be so careful, because there are scammers out there, and somebody attempted to scam me, except they didn't expect to bump into a clever woman, I guess, because they did not succeed. So I'm just saying to you ladies, be careful. Be careful. It was a scam of some kind. I'm not sure what that link would do, because if I would press that link, I do not know what that link would do. If it would hack my Facebook account, or it would enable some sort of transaction, or if they would get my cookies or logins for PayPal or whatever, I don't know. But very fishy. Definitely not. Definitely not what it's supposed to be. Let's see, where did I do? I need to keep track of this pattern for a minute. So, finished row 16, I finished row 17, which is the fans below. Then we did a new single on top, which is row 18, and we are ready for row 19, which is basically, guess or not, like row 16. They look really like the same. The only difference is they are changing color, but I'm not. I'm just using the same. So that is the same as the previous row. So that is a bunch of trebles. You're very welcome, Susan. But yes, it's a warning to all of you. If it's for banking info, card info, account info, whatnot, please make sure you double check. Like in my case, so the thing is, you have this, like, you can see it's sender from. I actually still have it in my spam because I didn't delete it. It's a nice example for what it is. Let's see if I can actually find it. Yeah, that can be deleted. I'll be happy to show you guys how it looks like actually. So this is the back end of my Gmail. It says account limits. There has some text in Danish because obviously my PC is in Danish. It says like PayPal customer service. Like if you look at it, right? So initially you're just looking at it like that. It looks valid enough. PayPal customer service alert. But look below here. PayPal would never send you anything from this. They would only send from @paypal.com. They would never send PayPal customer service alert 661 at Gmail. Definitely. And this indicates to me just don't want to touch it for the life of me. And here it says you sent 50, account on hold. Hello, customer. You have a pending payment of 50 euros. We have a problem crediting your account with the stated amount because of the status of your PayPal account is not a business account, which limits your account with the stated amount being above your limits. This will not make us credit your account until you expand your limit. It's like, fuck no. Trust me. Replace limits on all accounts increase, blah, blah, blah. How to update my account? Contact the last payer of your account, send initial payment of, oh my goodness. Contact the last payer of your account to send an initial payment of 500 euros so that your account limit can be expanded so that done we can credit your account with the full amount of 550, which is never happening. They just want me to send them 500 euros. That's not happening. A notification has been sent to your buyer regarding the payment of blah blah, so they need to send to you blah blah, which is like it's such a scam. It's such a scam. But I found it fun to have and to hold just to like show you ladies this is what I had because somebody wrote to me on Facebook they wanted to buy something from me, like one of the items I made. It's definitely phishing. And I'm not gonna press this button or any links and whatnot. I'm not touching it. I'm just merely showing you guys. Don't jump into it, especially when people are being really pushy and saying, "Oh, please, please, please." This person was being, and it was a really weird actually because it was really not clear. Like the photo they sent to me and said if it was still available was an item that was only halfway finished. And I said, yeah, well, the item's been finished. It's since in my closet. And then they were like, oh, yeah, but is it for sale? Can I buy it? And I'm like, yeah, but you didn't actually see it. But sure, if you want to buy it. And then this whole ordeal started. And luckily, I am a clever girl, so I'm not touching this. But there are people that don't know better and they will fail. So that is my warning to you, ladies. Please, 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 please don't fall for shit like that. It's sad because less tech-savvy makers must get scammed a lot. Send email to people phishing to report them. Yeah, they're definitely phishing for your PayPal account. While you're in your email, you could show my video if you want. Oh, I can do that. I can definitely do that. I just need another email for that because that was my private actually. Sure. Give me a moment. Let's see. I should be showing my. Come on. Oh, it's probably I can't pre-show it, so I need to download it. I hope you're not sending me anything I shouldn't have. Now the real question is if it only shows my screen or what it does. It only shows the screen. So what I need to do is I need to see if I can get this one to show my screen. Give me one moment, please. Because it's thank you. No, I don't think you would either. I genuinely don't think you would either. What do I have on this one? I do have extra screen. What is that? That is this one. Video. Choose. And then that should probably be this one. Yes. And then we need to drop that one here below. Then we'll do like this. Hey, this should work. At least, I think so. Just checking that it's also jumping over on the action screen. Yeah, here we go. Okay, we are playing. I'm not sure if you got audio though, but this is Upbold's new crafting room. We can all be jealous. Oh, that recliner looks nice. And shawls. Well, I would set comfy there. I definitely would. All those cakes. You can go yarn shopping at your place. Like my craft room is, I don't even have one, but that would even not even be half the size of yours. Like this is like a living room size in the Netherlands. It feels like, well, not completely, but half of it. Nice. I am jealous. I definitely am. Nice one. Super duper jealous. Let's see. I was doing a chain 4, and then we were turning the work around, and we did a double crochet in that starting stitch. And then we are to do a V-stitch in that V-stitch, which is basically the top of it. Yeah, not a problem. Chain 2, double crochet. And then we'll do a bunch of, and that's again the 9 triples. And every from here, so every, that's basically every second actually, because then we have the 9 fan stitches in between the other ones. Oh, that's nice. That's a good idea. Susan says, love how your shawls on the wall run a rod. Alba says it's just curtain rods. Love when the shawls are clipped on cut clothesline. Me too, but in this basic curtain rods makes it more sense. Yeah, definitely. And I should probably, all mine are just like folded together in a stack basically right now. I should do something about that too. That is on my dream list. So many things I need to do, but haven't done, including blocking. But when I did my podiversary video that went live during my time in Denmark, so a bit more than 2 weeks, it went live like 2 weeks ago, 15 days maybe, but no, 2 weeks. I think it was on a Wednesday. Then you know, when I did the recording for that, I realized how many makes I have, and that is basically why I need to sell them. Some of them I don't have room. 2, 4, 6, 8. One more. I don't have room. I could hang clothesline in my yard and take photos. You could. You definitely could. If you have room for it. I don't really have much room in my garden to hang out, so I'll probably have to like go somewhere, and there's a few fences that could work it up in this area. In the winter, what I would do is probably similar to if you have seen my shawl tutorials or the photos of my shawls when I like hold them out when I stretch my hands or arms and it's like behind me. That's the best guess I can do. And then I usually have my partner taking the photos because it just makes most sense. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. And then in the next, which is the top of the other one, we'll do a double crochet V-stitch. And then we'll forward on with the 9 triples in the next. Okay. The optional is that I need to put my camera on a stand and like remotely have it take photos and then, rinse and repeat until you get the right ones. That could be an option. Which is also being considered as an option. I'll be relying on good weather days, obviously. Thank you. I do think, let's see if we find my Instagram, which I'm really bad at using. I need to do better putting photos up. I do admit. We will do this one. So, like this one that's a Jasmine Tea shawl, by the way. It's also a Red Teapot LCD design. She actually shared this post. So Ines from Red Teapot LCD shared this post on her Instagram as well. And it is absolutely gorgeous, I think, as well. It's a nice intricate pattern. This is after blocking, hanging on a clothing hanger on a door, basically. So that's how I made this one. And going down here, these photos, that's in my back garden. That's a leafy shawl. Photo is taken by my partner, and that would be me holding it up. And I did the same for the Varus shawl, for the Varus shawl tutorial. It's just a bit smaller because it's a shorter cake, basically. But I really like these kind of concept photos. I need to do more of them. I should do more of them. I also need to share those other ones I have, which is just, it's in my stash. I just haven't gotten around it. I haven't gotten around it. Happiness poncho. It's quite simple design poncho in Hobby Twister cake. I think this would work out really, really nice as well in one of those big muffin cakes from Pleta, if that makes sense. I think that would work really well as well. But I am unfortunately not the best on getting photos up on Instagram. I will get better on that once a bunch of other things have been updated as how they are supposed to be. And this is the Barbara Bolero, of where I also made a tutorial and the tutorial is not with this specific yarn, but it's basically a tutorial that explains you how you can adapt the pattern to any yarn of your choosing, making a fitted bolero to your size. It's very simple actually. And that is a 4-row repeating pattern as well. I did color control this yarn. It's made in the Hobby Carnival yarn. For this particular one, as I said, I did color control it, but only to the extent that when a skein ended, I ensured that the next skein would start in the same color changing pattern so that it would be kind of the same all across. And it turned out really nice actually. That's pretty much it. Of the fancy ones on my Instagram. I need to be better using my Instagram. That is a fact that I also know. Thank you for your compliments, ladies. Much appreciated. 2, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, and 9. I've really missed being live with you guys. I have. I like this, how it's kind of alternating here with the fans. And what is important about, especially about Ines or Red Tea Atelier Designs here is you really need to block them because else it goes a bit funky up here, but it stretches out and gets really shawl shaped once blocked. So sometimes they look really weird before blocking. And the blocking kind of fixes it all. Yeah. Well, I was just being like, I want your yarn room. I do. I want a crafting room. Like, officially. The thing is, I probably should consider selling it. The one I have, like, so I have a spinning bike in the extra room we have, and the fact is just I don't use it. I haven't used it for years. And I'm not inclined to use it very quickly either, as much as I used to be. I probably should be using them. That's a different story. But I'm just not as inclined to use it for various reasons. And it just takes up space. I could use that space differently. So maybe I should use it, and then even though that I'm using it, I could put it for sale and see if somebody bites on it, so to say, if somebody wants to get it. And if they do, that's awesome. And if they don't, then well, I'm still stuck with it. But I'm not going to throw it out because it has value. It's not like used a lot either, or something like that. And it's a quality one, like you would find it in the fitness center. I might consider it because, yeah. But at the same time, I'm kind of concerned because if I remove it, I'll get more space, but more space I'll just fill up with other stuff I don't need. I'm just waiting for a couple of more pieces of furniture. Need a large height adjustable table, 4 feet by 6 feet for my knitting machine, and an office chair for the table. Yeah, that makes good sense. So that's the thing. It's limited how much I can stuff into the room because in the room also has a bed and it doesn't have a lot. Like it's a 2.5 by 3 meters or something like that. It's probably, yeah, that's probably it. Maybe it's 2.5, 220 by 3 at best. And it's also where I have my guest bed, which is actually one that I've considered replacing with a different to get um, it better for my visitors, because right now I have a single person bed and then I have like one of those, foldable ones, just for the space of it because it gets smaller by folding it together. But I am like debating on improving the bed for like a double bed version. So it's not like I'll have like lots of room for actually a full-sized craft room. In that case, I would need to move. And that, my friends, is way too expensive in the Netherlands. We can't afford it. And the house is good. I don't feel I need to move. It's only for the craft room, if that makes sense. But I don't need. It's a nice to have. It's not a need to have, and therefore no need. This room is technically the master bedroom, but it was the farthest room from the washroom, end of the hall, around the corner and down the set of narrow stairs to get to the washroom. So we're using the rec room as our bedroom instead. Yeah, I get it. Well, sometimes you just need to do what makes sense for you, right? In this case, this would be a child's room, our guest room. It would just be any second room because, and technically, our bedroom is actually originally been 2 rooms. Like it should have been an extra room, but the persons that lived in the house before removed the wall, so they got a bigger master bedroom, and that's still our master bedroom. I wouldn't even want to have the other one as a bedroom. And then we have the attics, but it's not like we have a big house or anything like that. We do have our own house, and we have more than enough space to keep clean. Actually, we concluded the other day if we did have more space, we would also have more space to stow away stuff. Like we just get more stuff and stow it away. So it's probably a good thing that we don't have more space, if that makes sense. Which is true, especially if I look away of the last 3 years. So I've been crocheting actively for 3 years, and if I just looked 3 years back, the amount of yarns that I have today compared to what I had 3 years ago is crazy. 3 years ago, I had more than yarn that I needed for a half year, maybe. Now I probably have yarns for the rest of my lifetime. That's how it feels like when I'm looking at it, and if I'm seeing how quickly I'm using it. And that's definitely also why I need to be mindful of my yarn purchases, because I keep thinking, oh, but it's on sale, it's a good deal, I should get it. I don't have room to keep buying. I need to get rid of some first, if I want to buy more. I And herein comes the concept of this web store that I am building, which I've been talking about a couple of times. And I genuinely hope we are ready for a launch towards June. I think that's my current goal. Um, I'm not sure if I could do it earlier. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I want to make sure it's all good. And there is a few things to do for that so far. And yeah. So June is my deadline. Sometime in June. That is my deadline. That is what I really goal-wise want to get done. Um, my daughter goes shopping in my stash all the time, so it's kind of for both of us. Yeah. I don't know if I should start shopping my mom's stash of yarn. She has a lot too, but I feel I have more than my mom these days. She did inherit. I don't know if she's still around. She might be, unless she fell asleep. Um, which is okay if she did. But she like sometimes people come to her, they just dump off whatever yarn they have because they know she's crafty. And recently she got like I don't know, like two big totes, and I took really big totes, like um they're probably like I don't know 30-40 gallon totes feeling wise. They're bigger than the totes we have over there. They're probably like 50 liters. I don't know how much 50 liters is in gallons. 30 gallons maybe, I don't know. I'm finding a calculator. Moment, please. So 1 gallon is about, so 1 liter is about quarter gallon. Okay, so like a good guess is the totes she got were like maybe 18-20 gallon totes. And she got like 3 or 4 of them filled to the brim with cotton yarn, like, 4/8 cottons. So she has enough cotton to last her lifetime, especially like lots of it is white or cream. That's crazy. 4, 6, 8, 9. You know what I saw the other day? When I went at the store, it's one of those stores selling value yarn. And they actually had a big garbage bin next to the cashier where it said, feel free to donate to the crafty who crochet or knit for the hospice. Hospice, I assume, is the same across the world. It's a place where people basically go to pass away, which is sad. But they crochet everything from blankets to amigurumi to whatever, whatnot. And you could like basically buy a ball of yarn and dump into that bin, and it would go to these crafty ladies for the hospice. So that's kind of nice. Others also had donations of yarns from people happen as well. Yeah, there you see. It just does happen. Let's see. Okay, I need to do like that. The yarn I do purchase, I get 99 of it really on good sales. Yeah, same. I refuse to pay full price for yarn unless I have a really good reason for doing so. And then with a few exception of those, as I said, we have these value stores here in the Netherlands, where you can get like acrylics for really good prices and so on. Sometimes they have discounts on their yarns, but generally the price they do run are already pretty good prices. I can get a ball of DK weight acrylic, 3.5 ounces for less than $2. It's not premium acrylic, but it is pretty good acrylic for the fact it's just acrylic. It's really soft. It's the same that I had in my giveaway, basically. So sometimes they have some really good, nice deals. Almost made me sick to pay full price. I can relate to that part. I think it's also because they go on sale, like for hobby yarns. I know the yarns go on sale every so often, right? And when they do go on sale, they are just so much cheaper that I'm like, yeah, hell no, I'm not paying for price. So if I can wait buying, I will wait buying. I think I can count the amount of times I've gotten anything for full price. I don't think I ever paid full price for yarn at hobbies. It's always been related to some discount, either bulk discount or just a sale. Because sometimes the bulk discount is also like 30% off, which is okay when you buy bulk. 6, 7, 8. Should be 9 now. Susan, the winner did contact me, and they are in America. In fact, they are in California somewhere. So I will be packing down my prize and ship it tomorrow when I pass the post office on my way to my in-laws. Yeah, they did contact me, and they were really happy. So, which is nice. I like that. I like being able to make people happy. And it was, yeah. Obviously, it's more cool to make people happy that you also see often here in the lives. That would have been really, really cool. I should have done that too. Who knows? Maybe once out in the future. If the web shop becomes a success, slow up the web. Let's try again. If the web shop becomes a success and it pays for itself, I'll promise you, ladies, that we will have a live and I'll do a yarn giveaway during that live. Yep. I will definitely be open for that. It will be an afternoon live like this one. I will try to announce the time in advance. It was quite fun when we did the anniversary, like, we had this 1,000 subscriber celebration meditation kind of live a year ago. That was kind of nice. I like to do something similar if something is really successful, but right now I'll need some more subs for doing that. New yarn is new yarn. Absolutely, new yarn is new yarn. And for them, it's new yarn. I got something for. Do you know those yarn holders you can hold in your hand? So it's like these yarn spindles, but instead it's just this piece, and it has this like for strap, and then you can like put your ball on it, so you can bring it with you if you're walking or standing, or in the car. You could hang it in the car. I got something where I should be able to make those from resin. So that is a future project idea of mine. Again, June, maybe at best. And I was thinking that I could sell those as well on my web shop once that's up and running. That could be cool. Content creators seem to increase sub count doing vertical lives. I imagine because they get pushed out to their phones. I'm not sure how it works though, so technically seen. I'll need to talk to Amanda because she's done it. So, Amanda, if you're still hanging around somewhere, because I know you did say hello, but you've not been chatty, so maybe I'm just in the background while you are crocheting on something. But if you're still listening to me, then I'd love to talk to you about that. When my mom passed away, I inherited all her yarn. It was more than 2 pickup truckloads. Unfortunately, most of it was unusable. She smoked a lot and in the house. Oh, goodness. Yeah, that's no fun. Non-smoker home. We don't even have pets. So these are pet-free home, non-smoking, yeah, stashed yarns. So in that sense, we should be good for any sort of allergies and smells, I think. Yeah, smoky yarn is disgusting, definitely. I don't know how this smells actually. It smells like yarn. Yeah, it smells like yarn. Maybe a little bit factory smell to it, like dusty factory smell, but it smells like yarn. I kept it in they come in these cellophane plastic bags, and I keep that in it. Abba says, I have a dog. She's my baby. She has multiple beds all over the house, but we don't smoke either. My dad smokes, but he does it outside. That said, when I've been home, I wash my clothes when I get home because it still hangs around because, in the hallway where the jacket hangs, my jacket is exposed to it because it's exposed to his jacket and so on. But he does smoke outside, so he goes out of the house to smoke. Luckily. But if we are on a walk somewhere outside, he would sometimes smoke beside me when we are walking, and then you can also get a little bit of smoke on you. The standing yarn here, it's acrylic. It's 90% acrylic and 10% Durex. This is the yarn label, which was on it. Oh, that's not very clear. Oh, there we are. Content, 90% acrylic, 10% Durex. It's 250 grams, which is 8.8 ounces to 1,000 meters or 1,093 yards, for those that's curious. And it's a little bit like, it's longer, thinner cake compared to if you take the hobby's cakes. And we were center pulling, so eventually it will flatten out. But so far it goes pretty smooth from the center pull. There was a center pull tab. What I really like about the Stenleys is that they have these small beads on the end. So the yarn was threaded on this to help find the center pull. And now I could use it for stitch marker, I guess. And it's like nicely burned on the edges. Oh, there we are. Which is kind of fun. And yeah, they also have some 100% acrylics with like 2000 or is it 2000, 400 meters, and they are huge. They're like almost half a kilo. It's like a pound cake. This is a smaller ones, but they have some really huge acrylic cakes too. Upper says it was just too much yarn to try to de-stink. I keep a bit of the yarn, but I couldn't let go of the past project she was making. I did frock it, but I have the yarn set aside. It's cut with a laser. Upper says she made a few with her laser. Okay. I never tried the bead charm for unplied strands. You could probably do it. Um, but I think in this case, I would probably more recommend like an acrylic or a smoother, because I think the edges here is probably a bit rough on, especially on the lurex thread. The downside is also once you put it on, you need to put it on from the beginning. You can't put it on later. I've tried to keep track of it with something smaller, um, and I just don't work well with it. I just work better with it without having a bead on it. That's how it is, so to say. Abba says the Stanley Muffin is 2,000 meters. I just checked one. Yeah, as I said, I couldn't remember if it was 2,000 or 2,400, but then it's like 420 grams or something like that ish. It's just shy of. I do I do believe it's shy of half a kilo, if I recall correctly. And I'm surprised it's already like 4:21 p.m. here. Ooh, time flies today. But that is because I am in an absolutely wonderful company with you ladies. I am so happy you're with me and that we are hanging out. I have genuinely missed you. Hope you will be hanging out with me on Monday as well, because I will definitely be back Monday afternoon my time. And then it's gonna be a bit before I'll be back, because then I am traveling to Denmark. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. 430 grams. Oh, so I was not too far off. Oh my goodness, I am needing to take care here because I'm almost pulling this apart before wanting to pull this apart. Oh, I see what happened here. Oh, that was, lucky me. I was like, oh my goodness, I am getting a knot. Mm-mm-mm. Did anyone ever made a larger blanket with one weight yarn? I haven't. I don't have the patience for it. 2, 4, 6, 8. Wait. Did I do an extra here? 2, 4, 6, 8. I did. I need 9, not 10. We'll frog one stitch. I think those Stanley muffin cakes would be gorgeous for baby blankets, like bigger blankets. Or tops or dresses could also work nice. That said, I'm not sure if I would wear this directly on my skin. I would probably option for a different type of yarn. But with something underneath, not a problem. Um, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. But I think they could make some really nice blankets though. I made a baby blanket from a panna cotta cake. I have panna cotta upstairs. Uppos is making a blanket with weight 1 yarn. It takes 4 cakes that are 800 meters. So like copy Sultan, like Cotton Kings, Sultan from Hobby, example wise. And yeah, then I'm the happy shawl maker, of course. I should find time to design a new shawl at some stage, but all my designs is also not going quickly because I have so many other things I want to do. Guess bottom line is I need to put all my energy into, and then I need to take the leap also, because a part of it is this, I need to launch it. I need to just jump into it and get it done. Haven't logo, everything is kind of in that sense ready to go. I just a lot of text and technical setups in the background for shipping to regions and stuff like that, which is work. Susan asking at what pattern she's doing the blanket in, and I will say she's using the Red Tea Potaslier pattern, the Pai Mu Tan Tea blanket. I have been wondering on making the shawl actually. That's also on my list of things that I want to do at some stage. I have quite a few of those projects I would like to make. Susan has a lot of thin weight cakes and was thinking of not using them for shawls. Yeah. Tops could also be an option. Dresses. Like the fairy tale dress for children is so cute. And I imagine this could be nice for it actually. It's a Hiko concentric cotton. It's Pima cotton, a bit thinner than the Cotton King yarn. Okay. Oh yeah, we talked about that I think last time during the live when we were looking at their yarns. Susan asked if you're color controlling it. They make wonderful warm weather blankets, the Pima cottons. Yeah. Only the fact that I'm starting one ball from the center and then the next one from the outer side, etc. So basically it's simple color controlling. One would say, I guess. That's how I did the bolero I did. It was also only simple color control. 2, 4, 6, 7. 2 more. Two, 4, 6, 8, 9. Is it a square blanket? It will be square, not sure what size it will be. I'm only 1 1/4 cake into it and I have a total 4. We will see. We will see. Else, you're welcome to send me a photo and I'll share it with you all here on the live. I don't mind doing that. After it's done unblocked, I will send a photo. Sweet. Thank you. We need 3 more trebles. Okay, so now it happened. It's the first time today Here I slipped the lurex strand, so we'll frog 2 stitches for me to catch it up. There we go. 2, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, and 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yeah. I love how it looks, but I find square blankets impractical for adults. Yeah, if they're fully square, it can be a bit impractical. I don't know if you use Ravelry, but if you look in the comments for a Ceylon tea blanket, there is one that tells you how to make it a rectangle. Yes, Susan, that's why you're always expecting your thread will use yarn. Yeah, that's what, but it was once in like what we've been here for like 2.5 hours, 2 hours I've been crocheting on it. So it's not often it happens, but it does happen occasionally, but generally not much. Okay, I need to see how I finish this row. Just a moment, ladies. I need to do the V-stitch and then, okay. Somebody's calling me and I don't know who it is, so I am sure it's somebody trying to sell me stuff that I don't want. Yeah, they already stopped calling and it was a very quick call, which is a phone salesman. Not getting my attention more than they have already. That's a treble, so 1, 2, 3. That's a top treble here, which I need to do a double crochet into and then a treble. Yeah, here we go. And the treble as well. Yesterday they called me actually from a phoning company which is also doing internet, and they're trying to convince me, and they're calling me on my quote unquote private phone, which is also my business phone for the registered company I have, and they were trying to convince me that I needed renovations and services around the area because apparently my internet had been spotty and they had had complaints that it was falling out. And I'm like, no, it hasn't, and we aren't even having you as provider, so why would you do the maintenance for us? Yeah, but and I was like, yeah, well, don't understand. I'm not interested. Go away. So I ended up hanging up. It's crazy what people do these days. Okay, now it is time for a bunch of double crochets and chains. I see. Row 20 is where we have reached to. But before we start on row 20, I'll give you a little show of how far we are. This is actually the top side of it. So I think that's a nice one. Just quickly a look. That's how here, and if I take it a bit further up, but you can't really see it. So what I should do is just quickly do this. Bit poor quality, but should be enough to show you, ladies, where we are at. It is wavy enough, but it will get better once blocked. Appa says, I start a different blanket I need finished before the one, though. I'm making a chevron blanket for while I sit on in my chair. That's a good plan. Susan says, I don't answer calls from anyone unknown. Well, yeah. I don't normally do that a lot either, but Sometimes it's unfortunately needed. And in this case, my goodness, I'm quite sure it was a salesperson because I think it only went over like 3 or 4 times before they hang up from a relatively unknown number, knowing the shit they tried to pull on me yesterday. And it's basically it's fake marketing because they're saying they need to do services in the area, but they don't because we don't have them as a provider. Why would a company that's not your internet provider want to do service on your network? That would require them to be your provider, right? And no, um, our network is fine. In fact, it was actually quite recently upgraded, so I'm not really understanding it. Chain 4. And then we turn the work around and we need to do 2 double crochets into that first stitch, which I can do. And then I need to read. And then we need to do 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Also not an issue. And then we do chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We do a double crochet in the V-stitch gap. Okay. According to this, we then chain 1, and then I'm trying to figure out, is that in the gap that or is in the double crochet? Give me a moment to read this. Into the next, chain 3, double crochet into the chain 1, down double crochet between the next double crochet and treble crochet. Okay, so in the gap here between is where I need to do the double crochet. Okay, fair enough. Then I need to chain 3, 2, 3, and I need to do a single crochet on top. So that will be in the 5th stitch here. And I'll need to do another chain 3, and we'll double crochet again between those down here. Yep, we'll chain 1, double crochet in the chain gap, chain 1, and then double crochet in those, which is simple enough. This row, I would say. So as you can hear, yesterday was a tasking day with everybody who was trying to get stuff from me, which they don't deserve. My goodness. I can do that. That's easy. My husband is a contractor for an internet provider. They don't operate like that. It was a scam. Yeah, except it's a company that's known. So it's basically if you have 2 different companies and they're both perfectly known providers, what they want to do is basically to bump you into taking their service so that they can send you the bills from there on. So like you're changing provider, basically. It's their way of getting you to change provider, but we don't want to change provider. In fact, we are requesting them to remove us from their calling, like from their cartotek of numbers they can call because we're not interested. And they keep calling us every so often. They keep calling us, trying to get us to change. And this is just a recent way of trying to get us to change, is to say, oh, but we are servicing the network in your area. But why are you calling me to tell me you're servicing the network in my area? I don't care. You're not my provider, so don't see why you should call me. There is no need for it. Call the ones that actually you do provide services to. Oh, that's also possible. but I'd much rather know what phoning company is like. They are using a call center to do the outreaches. And my question is what call center they're using, because I'd like to talk with that call center. Actually, I'd like to drag the ass into court because it's false marketing. And false marketing is illegal. 2, 4. Yeah, we have to, they have to hear as well. The problem is the numbers they call us on. So we have our house number, which is the numbers that's registered with the Chamber of Commerce for my husband's or partner's company. And my private phone is registered with my own company for the Chamber of Commerce, which is a thing we have that's legal because that has to be because of the fact that we do run our own businesses. Like I have a very small business next to my job, which also has nothing to do with crochet, by the way. And they get them from there. And because we are businesses, they can't remove our numbers. If we had been private persons, it would have been different. So they basically get the lists from the Chamber of Commerce, which totally sucks. We also have a lot of AI calling happening. So basically, they call you from whichever and saying like it's just you can hear it's fake AI computer voice that's talking to you, and I'm like, why would I even talk to you? Like, if you need to talk to me, you can call me as a human being. Yeah, it's pretty dirty. Here it doesn't matter, it's personal business number. Also in the Netherlands, you're allowed to do door-to-door sales. That's prohibited in Denmark. In Denmark, they also have to remove you from the calling list if you request them to. But here, door-to-door sales is legal, and I hate it. Like, people bust your door and try to sell you all sorts of shit, to say it nicely. And it's just not okay in my optics. It's not, because nobody asked to be approached by people in their own home that's trying to sell things. Like if I wanted to buy things, I would go to the store or I would go online or I would go look for it. And when I'm at home, I'm not intentionally looking to buy something or donate something or whatnot. Recently, there's a lot of good courses they go around with those what would you call it, money pigs. It's like crates that's fully closed and there's a slice and you can put coins in them for like donate to cancer awareness or donate to kidney awareness and stuff like that. And in that sense, I do like to give the small coins to good purpose. But most recently, they're starting to ask you to like to sign up for a monthly transfer or subscription, which I don't want to do. Like if they come door to door collecting for cancer or whatever, I'm happy to stuff in a few coins at the amount that I see fit. But I don't want to have to do a bank transfer to do these donations unless it's like a bigger amount, and it's for business and whatnot, right? So that annoys the crap out of me too. And I think it's because, with the small coinage, it's just exchange that I got from the store. I have some laying around for purposes like that, where I'm like, yeah, that I don't mind. Um, but I don't want to actually get a subscription for it, if that makes sense. Piggy banks. Yeah, exactly. Sort of piggy banks. I need a dog. I don't get the door-to-door guys anymore. I have a couple of beware dog signs. My baby isn't friendly. Yeah. Should get one of those. That would be a great idea. Um, so I don't mind people collecting for a good cause. Um, I have been wondering to do stuff and say, hey, if you purchase this item, um, X fee goes to cancer awareness or whatever, the fund for cancer treatment, cancer research. I'd like I'd like to do that. It would be nice. But yeah, I'm not really good with door-to-door salesmen either. Oh my goodness. Um, that said, I did laugh one day. This is like probably 10 years ago almost. So we have solar panels on the roof. The solar panels is headed towards our backyard. But if you come from the right direction, you can easily see them laying from the street. Like if you come from the side of the house, you can easily see the solar panels on our roof, right? Like no doubt. And one day they bust on the doorbell, which is basically on the side of the house, but obviously if you came from the other side, you might not have seen it. But still, if you would sell things like this, you would do your research before you're busting doorbells. Anyhow, the guy busted on the doorbell and asked if how we felt about green energy and greener options and stuff like that. I was like, I think we're feeling pretty okay. Oh yeah, because they were having this new sale on or offer on brand new solar panels. And I looked at him and said, have you actually checked our roof? Because we do have solar panels already, so I don't think your roof is interesting. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, do your research. Like you just saved yourself 5 minutes had you done some research. Not that those research organizations don't do good stuff, but much of your donation goes to administration costs and not what you probably intended. Yeah, that's probably right. That's also why if one wants to do it, it has to be like a decent amount, right? And then the next thing, I'd probably option to do it for the one in Denmark and not so much also quickly for the one here in the Netherlands because where I know people with the most issues are in Denmark. Um, so if it would be fully sensible, I'm not sure. It's a thought. It's not completed yet. Um, 1, 2, and 3. We are getting closer to the end of this row. 1, 2, 3. We'll see what the next row is, but I'm not sure how far we'll get because we are also getting closer to the end of this live. The time flies. It's been almost 3 hours. I did start early. Needless to say, I did start a bit early, but we have a couple of local cancer support organizations here. I love to help them out because they're all volunteers and every dollar gets used. Yeah, that makes good sense. It's definitely something I need to look into. Um, I guess I have this desire urge for extras. Like I was supportive of it before my mom got cancer, but hereafter it's just been more aware in my mind, if that makes sense. Um, they provide things like transportation to and from medical appointments, wigs, shawls, etc. Yeah, similar. So in Denmark, my mom's currently so blessed she can use transportation that's paid from the region she lives in. It's covered by taxes, basically, tax purposes. But a lot of medical treatment in Denmark is covered by tax. The tax you paid, it's healthcare is free, basically. That's how it is. And now I need another 3, and we need to enter in that second last stitch a double crochet, and in the very last stitch 2 double crochets and a treble, and then that was this row. So we have just finished row 20. Oh, do behave, yarn. Thank you. Row 20. Okay, row 21, same as row 4, but very important, make only 2 double crochets into every 3 chain 3 space instead of 3 double crochets. Okay, easy peasy. So basically, row 4 is a double crochet in each. We can start row 4, but we won't finish it, I can tell you, but we can start it if you want me to. But I can also just quickly show how far we are after this one. We need to turn it around to get the right showing. This is where we are at. Ta-ta! Now we're gonna do a bunch of double crochets. Except that won't be finishing that row now. Makes total sense. Was the same for me. The treatments are covered here too, but most people have to go into the city for a lot of appointments. It's 1.5 to 2 hours away. Also, being a rural area, a lot of people don't do city driving. That makes good sense. Right now, for the days of the treatment and so on, because they take longer, my dad doesn't have the patience to be the chauffeur. Because he just doesn't have patience. Like if he needs to wait more than 5 minutes, it feels like an hours to him. And her treatments take almost 3 hours. So basically, she gets transported with what they call flex traffic. So flex traffic, which is organized by the hospitals and the regions, and it's covered for by the regions. So it's basically like a taxi or a cab ish. 2, 3, 4, and we turn our work, and we'll start by 2 double crochets in the first stitch. And then it's 1 double crochet in each stitch, except for the chain 3 spaces, we only do 2. And that was quite nice that she wrote that, because else I would definitely have done 3. So that seems simple enough. And it's double crochet, so it's just double crochets, double crochets, double crochets, straightforward. So that is one in each stitch so far. And then we need, because this is a chain, 3 space, so we only need 2 double crochets in here. And what's also really nice about her pattern, she does write, especially for the first times of repeats. She said, like, in this case, once we're done, it's like 1 treble, 85 doubles. So I can count them towards the end to see if I actually did how I was supposed to do it, which I expect I do, because I think I'm getting pretty good at them. Doesn't mean I can't miss anything. This is a similar idea, volunteer drivers, but they get paid by the government to drive people, but this organization just helps coordinate it all. Yeah, okay. Makes good sense. Somebody needs to do it. And of course, regardless, even if it's volunteers or not, it all just costs money, right? Life is expensive. So that's also why we wanted for me to come home like every second treatment for my mom, because obviously I can't go home every 2 weeks. It's just too much travel. I have a life here too. So I wanted to go home for every second treatment, so like once a month. And then the idea was that I had to drive during those days for, yeah, basically to help her. But here in May, that's not going to happen because of the treatment got replaced, moved forward a week. But I already ordered the flight tickets well in advance because of prices. If I would first order the flight tickets the week in advance, it would be really expensive. The price would like double, and then I wouldn't be able to afford doing what I'm doing. So we're basically planning, trying to plan, which is impossible with this illness, but we are trying to plan. And the plan is that it's going to be every second Tuesday, and that is what we're trying to plan with onwards. And either it will match or it won't match. So she better be good and not have any other side effects or reasons for being admitted to the hospitals or whatever not to not get her treatments on the current scheduled dates, because then it will be easier to be helpful. But we also said, because she was really sad that she was admitted for 6 of the days when I was there last time, and I said to her, like, it's just what happens. Most important is that she's well. Of course, it would have been nicer if she had been home, but regardless, we will just have to figure out how I can help them best possible when I am home, if she's admitted or not, but for the family as a whole, right? But if everything goes right, I'll have a couple of times where I will be able to drive for her. Exactly, yeah. Well, the plan is that there is no plan, but I hope there is a plan. We are trying to plan, even though it can't be planned, but we are trying with the planning in the hope that it's going to be all right, if that makes sense. There's not much more we can do. But yeah, we have learned there is no plan. I haven't ordered my September travel yet. I've been postponing that a little bit. I might do that here in the end of May. It is far enough out in the future that the prices won't go totally crazy before then. Well, it's working up nicely so far. Yeah, that's what I did last time. I pre-made a bunch of yeah, it's sort of meatballs. Um, it's called frikadella in Danish. I did a lot of those last time. I was home and they didn't eat them all yet. And I cleaned the house. That definitely needed. So like vacuumed the floors and washed them. That was really desperately need. And actually also took off all the cushions on the couch and vacuumed the couch. I don't know when that happened last time, but I found some stuff there that didn't belong there, so to say. A piece of candy. So I had asked my mom when she last time had that type of candy. She was like, I don't know. I was like, okay, it's been there for a long time then. So I did that while she was admitted, so it was actually clean when she got home. So that was a good thing. That was a good thing. We are getting closer. I think I'll probably get to the center-ish or so. At best. We are... I need to find out what to make for dinner, actually. I do have an idea. I need to do either chicken wings, which I have, or I'm gonna do a fish fillet. And I am undecided if I go for the chicken or the fish. What I might actually do is I'll probably have a read on them and see. So both of them doesn't need thought first, and just probably have a look at the dates, best before date, and then I take the one that has the shortest span. That seems to be the logic choice. And that is a good thing because it comes from the freezer upstairs. I know it sounds crazy to have a freezer in my attic, but I do. And that means that it's getting closer to being empty, and I want to empty it because I need to defrost it. It desperately needs defrosting. So that's a project I've been working on recently. Using up my, like all of it, just eating it up. So I can get it defrosted. I'm making a Mexican breakfast dish for dinner today. It's called chilaquiles. We describe it as breakfast nachos. Okay. I had nachos Monday evening. Well, sort of nachos. More like, the corn chips. Not with dipping and all that stuff. But yeah, so I need to figure out things that I can like pre-make and just freeze for her. I also found a few things that could probably be easy foods for the sweet tooth and so on. Because obviously when she does eat, she needs stuff filled with energy. So I just need to fill it on, so to say. That goes in here. I just need to keep track of my stitches. One moment. So 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. I need one there too. We are pretty much at the center. Lasagna, stews, and soups. Yeah, she's not a big soup eater. Lasagna, maybe. That could be a good idea. Except meat in Denmark has gotten so expensive. What's called beef, round, minced meat. It's gotten really expensive in Denmark because the Danish government imposed CO2 taxation on farms, and those with cattle paid higher CO2 taxations because cows pollute more CO2 than pigs, for example. But that was actually a good idea. Lasagna might actually be an idea for one day. And we did start on the last bit, but I don't have time for this. I'd love to, but I don't. Because I need to get cooking started pretty soon. Ta-ta! But just showing where we are headed towards. Yeah, cows fart too much, exactly. You also have that tax in Canada. I wonder if the Canadian and Danish prime ministers put their heads together and said, "Hey, we have a great idea. Listen, do you think that's great too? Let's do it." Yeah, so that's where we are at. I think we did nice progress on this. Looking forward to see it blocked as well, but I am happy so far. Nice. And this is how the cake currently is looking. It will change its looks over the next couple of weeks for sure. I won't finish it before going to Denmark. I don't think so. Then else I'm crocheting insanely fast, but I just don't believe that. That's not happening. Let's see, not that one, that one. So what I need to do is I need to get us up here-ish and change over. I'm a little bit dark now, but we can fix that to 2, actually. Can lighten me up a bit, like that. Ta-ta. Yeah. That was pretty much it for today's stream. Because I have to get going and handle some cooking. I will be back Friday with my weekly yarn talk video. Then I will be here on Monday around 2 p.m. if everything goes well. Depends on work because Monday are the busiest day at work, so it could be I'm slightly delayed. But the idea is about 2 p.m. Central European time, which is about 8 a.m. Central, Central Eastern. If everything goes right, I should be live with you guys. It was wonderful to be and hang around with you. I very much appreciate it, and I hope I'll see you again in my next live. If you have time, that is. So I'm gonna say take care and happy crafting until I see you again, and thank you for spending your morning, afternoon, evening with me. Bye.